Yes, I want to add an addendum to the previous hour, and that was an experience that came to me when I come home from the war, and I was in San Francisco waiting to get transportation back to Pearl River. And as I was bumming around San Francisco at night, and it gets cold, believe it or not. In the daytime it's quite bright, but at night it seems like the fog comes in and it's quite chilly. So I was on some street, I forget the name of it, and as I'm walking I seen some lights over in a park. And I looked at it and it was four or five small spotlights on this group. So I wandered over there just to see what's going on early evening. And a man came over to me and says, "Sailor, you want to make $20? Well, at that time, I'd shoot my grandmother for $20. I said, well, yeah, what do you want me to do? Well, there'll be some people coming out of this door. And you start talking to each other, and then you'll be talking to them." Huh. Well, yeah, all right. What do you want me to talk about? Just anything. Talk. I said, okay, for $20, I'll talk. So anyhow, they 2 or 3 times, this couple, an older, good-looking man, Ken Smith, his name was, very distinguished older actor, very distinguished and good actor. And this middle-aged lady, well, not middle-aged, but she wasn't no kid. And they would come out the door and talk, and then we would all mumble. Then they would do it again and again. Finally, they had got enough of it. And the couple came out and stood there talking to us. And I'm looking at her, and I realized it was the actress Ann Sheridan, the redhead from Texas, who had been in many movies. She was always a gangster's girlfriend. Jimmy Cagney and Pat O'Brien and Humphrey Bogart and all of that. And she was a very attractive actress, and he was a very distinguished older actor and played in a few dramas. And I said, well, you know, what's this all about? They're making a movie. It's named Nora Prentice. It's the story about a woman who falls in love with a doctor who leaves his wife, and it's a pretty good movie. It's made. That was the year of 1940, beginning of 46. Which years later I saw the movies, and there was a glimpse of a sailor in the crowd, which was me. Well, I had a good conversation with her. She was very friendly, and the crowd was very enthusiastic, and that was quite an adventure for me. And I want to go a little earlier. When I was still stationed at San Diego, I'm trying to think, no. Yes. No, I was in San Francisco at the naval base in Treasure Island. Before I got on the train to come home, and Glenn Ford was sleeping next to me. And I got to talking to him, and I realized who he was. And his wife, Eleanor Powell, she was a very tall, very good dancer, had great legs, and a great dancer. She was a fairly good actress, and appeared in a few type of musicals, was her way. Glenn Ford at that time was not that big, and he was more or less coming on into his real career. So we become good buddies and talk quite a bit. And years later, then I realized that who he really was. Well, I knew who he was, but he went on from there and started appearing. He was in the great movies with Rita Hayworth called Gilda, which was quite a great movie for Rita Hayworth. She was quite beautiful, and he played the part of one of her lovers. And then years later, he became the father of Superman, where Superman had landed on that farm. And he appeared in a few other movies. I'm kind of blocking on their names, but like I say, he appeared in quite a few. His big one was Gilda, and he played a couple westerns, and he played in a few criminal type pictures. Glenn Ford.
When you met the actress, was this San Francisco when you got back from the war?
Yo.
Yeah, not before. Okay, yeah. Okay.
No, I met Ann Sheridan. It was after the war.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to add one more thing. The Navy boys at that time, Tony Curtis in the South Pacific in the Navy, Richard Boone, Paul Newman, just a few of us Navy boys. They went on and became in the acting profession, in the movies, you know. Paul Newman, Richard Boone, Have Gun Will Travel. So it was quite interesting at that particular situation to run into them people,
So
which I'd have never met only by the fact of being in the service.
So they went to become actors and
Huh?
they went to become actors and earn millions of dollars, and you went to work in a nut house.
Yep. That's about the truth of it. Well, your mother, there was an incident too. In the Navy at the time, and I would be coming up on the to the George Washington Bridge, and I met a guy on 8th Avenue. He was looking at me, and he says, "I want to ask you something." And I'm looking at him, and he said, "You think you might be interested in the movies?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess." He said, "Well, give me a call when you get out of the Navy. We'll talk. I'm an agent for Republic Studios. Republic Studios always made cowboy pictures. Tom Mix and the other old cowboys at that time. I'm trying to think, like the Republic with Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy and all of that.
You could have been
Well-
Hopalong Dick.
Huh?
Go ahead. Now, what were you saying?
Years later, after I was married and that and out of the Navy, I found that card and I called him. And he said, "Yeah, I remember you. I met you on 8th Avenue. How about coming out for a screen test?" And I said, "Come out to California?" He said, "Yeah, we'll pay your way." He says, "I was interested in you." Okay. I said, "Oh, let me see what I can do." Well, to make a long story short, your mother raised all kinds of hell. "Hey, you're going to go to California, you're going to meet all them women, you'll never come back, I'm going to kill myself and all of this. Well, the long story is, I didn't go, and I ended up working in a nut house for 32 years. Lucky me.
And living in one.
Okay.
Bye-bye.